Available in SCCI Live digital TV channel in YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Victor, you can share your slides.
Hi, Joe. I need.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it's our honor today to have Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor is featured in several places like Channel News Asia, Money Mind, and tonight itself he'll be sharing the outlook for the week itself. Okay, let's put a hand to welcome him. Hi, Victor, please carry on.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I hope you had your dinner. So for the next about 45 to 1 hour, minutes to 1 hour, you'll be with me. I'm going to share tonight a little bit on what's going to happen over the next 24, 48 hours at Jackson Hole, and also on the currencies, Euro dollars, New Zealand dollars, a little bit on Asian stocks as well. I like to show this because once a dealer, and I've been a dealer, always a dealer, right? This is the International FX Association so-called logo, if you want to put it. Okay, quick one. Just a quick intro for some of you who are new. I started my career in 1983 at Bank of America as trainee dealer, then went on to Citibank as senior dealer in 1985, and thereafter assuming roles as treasury manager and SVP in HSBC Private Banking Division. I left the banking industry in 2006 to be currency analyst with Informa Global Markets before semi-retiring in 2017. I am now adjunct lecturer with SMU Kaplan, as well as being trainer for the Skill Futures Fundamental of Forex Trading, Hedging and Risk Management course. I was lecturer trainer at the IBF, Institute of Banking and Finance, for many central banks, including MAS, Central Bank of Macau, Bank Negara Malaysia, Bank Indonesia. As trading and training is my passion, I continue to trade for clients and friends. Okay, as Joe was saying, I was featured on Money Mind several times, and I was also panel speaker at the NUS Econometric Studies Unit as an FX expert. And I recently participated in the University of Essex and Kaplan Symposium on Alternative Financing, Rethinking Financial Education. It was quite fun, right? That symposium, because we talk about everything, you know, the new so-called new normal. So we talk about memification, we talk about gamification, Robinhood, cryptos, okay, what's happening to the market, why the NFTs are called non-fungible tokens. Why a painting, you know, NFTs can be sold for like 6.9 million or something like that, right? Much more than those classic. So the world has changed a lot, all right? Okay, let's start something with the outlook. Jackson Hole, the focus. Okay, the Jackson Hole Symposium is a once-a-year symposium organized normally by the Federal Reserve, and usually they will invite other central bankers like Bank of England, ECB president, and some other central banks, Bank of Canada, right, and so on and so forth. But this year, because of COVID, and you know that COVID is quite terrible now because of the Delta variant, it's going to be a virtual symposium, and there are no so-called foreign central bankers. It's only the Federal Reserve. So therefore, of course, the market is focusing on Federal Reserve Chairman Powell's speech at the Jackson Hole Symposium starting tomorrow. There are no specific time yet when he's going to talk. I will find that out, all right? Of course, when I find that out, I'll put it in my, I will let my chat group people know, all right? Because I have a chat group. I'll talk about the chat group later. And they will know when, to look out for the speech. Because sometimes his speech will move markets. It will move the currency markets. It will move the stock markets. Okay, so the US dollar is recovered somewhat today, a little bit, but it will remain under pressure, right? To me, personally, I feel as the market does not expect any tapering talk, right? Given that the recent data has been underwhelming. Okay, recent US data has been underwhelming, that means underperforming. So therefore, the so-called super growth, all right, is slowing down. And of course, with the Delta variant running wild again in the US, now they have like 100 over K, 120, 140,000 per day. It will definitely have an impact on the employment number that's going to come out next week. Okay, last month they had a 943,000 number. And of course, the dollar became a bit strong because of that. But next week may be a different proposition altogether because of the Delta variant. All right. Even in parts of California, they are making it much stricter that if you don't wear masks or you're not vaccinated, just like Singapore, you cannot come into certain areas. So, but of course, US is so big, only certain states will impose that. Those that are Trump so-called supporter states, no need mask, no need vaccination, no need anything. So you can imagine on those states that have no mask, no vaccination, it's going to shoot up. The Delta variant is going to shoot up. It's going to shoot up. Eventually, shops are going to close down. Work is going to slow. So we're going to see some interesting thing over the next few months. Okay, then what's more interesting is on Friday, the PCE, Personal Consumption Expenditure Data, which measures inflation. It is forecast to show inflation easing to 3.5% year on year from 4% previous, which is definitely music to the Fed's ears, because the Federal Reserve has again over and over said that inflation is going to be transitory, temporary, so therefore they are not going to taper. They are not going to think of hiking rates. So if that is the case, then you will see a further fall in the US dollars. Because when there's no tapering, or when tapering gets delayed, the so-called interest rate hike gets delayed, market will say, oh, since it's going to delay for the next another 6 months or 1 year, then they will start selling the US dollars. So therefore, if Powell turns more dovish than what the market expects, which is my scenario, then we can see the US dollar slide even further. All right. I don't think Powell is going to be hawkish at all. In fact, one or two of the Federal Reserve officials who were hawkish, all right? Those of you who don't know what is the meaning of hawkish, you don't know what's the meaning of dovish, later on during the presentation, I will tell you about the course that I'm conducting. You can come for the course, you will know all the terms. All right. So by the end of the course, you are more like I wouldn't say an expert, but you will know what is foreign exchange. So when anybody talk foreign exchange, you will know. So therefore, we can sell US dollars on any rallies between now and the next, I would say, 48 hours. Okay. because my take is that the US dollar is probably going to be weak because the market will not expect any more so-called rate hike, okay? Rate hike talk by the Fed. Okay, in fact, when now I'm seeing my phone. I put this in one of my chat group. US durable goods orders came in at negative 0.1. Okay, of course, the forecast is minus 0.3. It came out minus 0.1, which is not too bad, which is better than expected. But if you compare it against the previous month, it is actually, yes, weakened quite a bit. All right. So this is definitely not good news for the US dollars. All right. And of course, if the Federal Reserve, based on this number, they are going to say that there is not going to be any tapering talk during Jackson Hole, or that tapering talk will be delayed. And of course, you see the US dollars fall a little bit more. Okay. Now, any questions before I go on? My presentation is very simple. Okay, you can just question me anytime. You unmute yourself, or you want to go on the chat, you can do that. If not, I can continue, and then at the end, we can also take it up from there. Okay, over the last few weeks, right? In fact, many weeks, I've been talking about RBNZ, Reserve Bank of New Zealand, because they were supposed to be the first central bank to hike interest rates. All right, they have put everything in place to hike interest rates. And then, of course, the unexpected happened. They found a Delta variant in Auckland. They found one. And they said that they found one. The moment they said they found one, New Zealand dollars took a hit, went down. And then it so happens that when they found that one, it coincided with the Reserve Bank of New Zealand interest rate decision. So instead of hiking rates, they did not hike rates. They stayed. All right, they held rates as it is. So of course, market disappointed because they all expected, even including myself. They sold dollars, they sold the Kiwi, they sold the New Zealand dollars, and it was down 3% last week. Okay, which was quite a lot. All right, 3%. But it has since recovered about 1% because my take is very simple. The COVID, Delta variant or whatever, eventually when you have lockdown, when you control it, the cases will stabilize. All right. So when cases stabilize in New Zealand, it gets less and less and less. There is scope for the Kiwi to stage a strong comeback, especially against the US dollars. If Federal Reserve Chairman Powell sounds dovish in his speech, in his upcoming speech, okay, over the next 24, 48 hours. And RBNZ, I think it's Assistant Governor Hawkesby, hawkish comments yesterday that the central bank considered hiking rates by 50 basis points will keep the Kiwi bears in hibernation. Now, imagine you have a central bank considering hiking rates by 50%, and they did not hike because of COVID. All right? You think about it, as a dealer, as a trader, as an investor, when he said that, or really she, the market of course, say, oh, they were actually supposed to hike by 0.5%, but because of COVID, they did not hike. So imagine what will happen if in the next 2 months, because the next meeting is in October, okay? If the COVID all disappear, what do you think they will do? Of course, they will hike 50 basis points, which is 0.5%, because they have to catch up after that. They were expected to hike by about 0.75% by the end of the year. So October, there's a meeting. December, there's a meeting. So October, if they don't do 50 in October, they'll do 50 in December. So either or. So therefore, the aggressive sell-off in New Zealand dollars last week has left the market short. Okay, so market is short. At one stage, market was long. Everybody wanted to buy New Zealand because of the RBNZ hiking rates. But because of last week, all right, because they did not hike rates, the market sold down the Kiwi dollars by 3%, which left the market now short instead of long. So even though if people are still bearish on the Kiwi, because the market is already short, further selling is likely to be limited. While I believe, which is not going to happen, a short squeeze is more likely the outcome. All right. So in between now and the next 48 hours, if Jackson Hole is a place where the Federal Reserve becomes more dovish, the Kiwi may even go above 0.70 and even higher. Okay, now it's about 0.6940 around there. So the upside is a lot. Downside is very limited. All right. And don't forget, New Zealand is, in terms of economic fundamentals, they are very, very strong because they were able to contain the virus for a long time. All right. For a long time, they were able to control the COVID-19. Of course, now they get hit by it, but because they are quite fast, all right, they locked down Auckland for 1 week, and now they extend it for another further week, and they locked down the Wellington shorter period because most of the cases are in Auckland. It shows that they're quite serious, and because of that, New Zealand economic fundamentals are very solid. All right, so therefore, if you have an economy that is very solid over the medium term, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you're going to see a gradual appreciation of the Kiwi. Right? So there's no question about it. Right? So buying dips in the Kiwi is the way to go. All right. I've been telling my group members, all right, the chat group members, to buy Kiwi when it was at 0.68, 30, 20, 30, 40. Some of them bought, some of them a bit hesitant, but those who bought, wow, now make a lot of money, right? 100 points higher. And I also did, because I saw New Zealand against, or rather Euro against New Zealand so high, I told them, why don't you sell Euro, you buy New Zealand? And one of them actually did, 2 of them made. One of them did one deal, only like 2 days, and he made $1,000, just like that, doing half a lot. All right, so things like that can be done, all right, in the FX market. Okay, so those are the 2 things I'm going to talk about in terms of foreign exchange. Now, for some of you who like, there are always people who want to do stocks on, somehow stock market is still quite popular, but what I want to do is caution you guys, all right, that Asian stocks, any rallies is a sell. Okay, now there was a sell-off, a big sell-off, right? But then, of course, the over recent days, there was some recovery in Asian stocks, and to me personally, it provides good opportunities to sell on rallies. Okay. Now I've got to repeat again because I am not a stock picker. I mean, I do not pick stocks, all right? But what I can tell you, I give you a big macro picture. So to me, selling ETFs, the EWH, which is Japan, the EWJ, which is Hong Kong, and the FXI, which is China, is good on this rally. It will come down. And then you take profit when the sell-off resumes, right? It's not going to go away. It will sell off again. And China still hasn't finished with a lot of things they're going to do. Okay, there's a lot of funny things they're going to do, and this will affect the stock market. Either this coming Sunday or next Wednesday, I will talk about the US stocks. All right, US stocks also very interesting. You can make some money if you do the indexes. All right, if you do the ETF indexes in the US. Now, even the EWY, the Korean, and the EWA, the Australian ETFs, are a sell on rallies rather than buy on dips. Okay, you cannot buy on dips yet at the moment because there's so much uncertainty in the world, all right, in terms of growth. Okay, so these are the two things that the currency and the stocks. Gold, like I said, this is only 1 hour, so I cannot talk too much because there's other things to cover. I will talk, normally I will talk gold with my chat group, right? But since I'm here, I can tell you just a very brief one, right? Gold will probably go up, all right? Because normally when US dollar goes down, gold will probably go up. What levels? If you come to the chat group, then of course I'll give you the levels. I'll let you know where, what to buy, where to sell, and all that. All right. So, the chat group is this: how is your trading? I always ask people. Those who are currently trading FX, and you feel that your performance is not up to where you want it to be, or you don't have enough time to monitor the market, you can join the SCCI Market Tips chat group, which I run actually, where you get daily trading views with entry, exit, stop loss, and take profit levels. Okay. In addition to getting the trading views, you will also be in a group of active FX investors to learn from them and then they from you. All right. That way you will sharpen your trading skills. All right, the fee is very, very affordable. People look at the fee and they laugh at me, okay? And how come you like that? 28 cents per day only, all right, which is $100 per annum. All right, sorry, there's no more next 7 persons, okay? Now there's only left 2. All right, actually left 1, but I make it 2. So tonight, I know there's about 10 people around there in watching this. So if you want to do it, 2 more at $100. After this, you'll go up. I'm not pushing you to do, okay? We started at $80 for the first 10, and then I say another $20, $100 for the next 10. Now I already have 9, okay? So I need 1 more, and then I'll go to 120 or 130. So if you want to join, even tonight, you know, even if I have 3 of you, you want to join, you still join 100. All right. To me, I want the group to grow, not the money. All right. Please join early to avoid paying the slightly higher prices later. Because once you join at 80 or 100, you will stay 80 or 100 forever, in a sense. Forever in the sense that until I'll say I do this for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, you will pay 100 for the next 6 years. All right. Even if I increase the price to 300, which I want to do eventually, okay, you will still pay 100. So it pays to go in a bit earlier. Like I said, I'm not pushing, but after this, it will definitely go up. If you want to do that, please contact me at 94521922. All right, if you're interested, and then I can assist you, okay, how to go into that group. Now, after trading for more than 3 decades, I believe that the key to longevity is to have good risk management in place. Okay, you can make good profits, but the key to staying in the game is to keep those profits instead of giving them back to the market. I always tell people, yeah, you can make 20%, 30% today, tomorrow. For the next 1 week, you make 30%. But normally these people, they will give back the profits because they have no risk management, all right, in place. So I always believe in risk management, and I always teach risk management so that you can make your profits, you can keep your profits, you don't let it go away, all right, and you can keep it. Okay, so I end this part of the presentation, all right, because there's 2 parts to it, and then I'll go to the next part. So, which is the next slide. Okay, I always ask myself, and I always ask the retail FX investors, why? After being in the market for like 35, 36, 37 years, I have observed that a high percentage of bank dealers make money and a high percentage of retail FX investors lose money. To be precise, something like 96% lose money. Okay, simple. Training. The bank dealers have very good training. I used to teach them, all right? As a treasury manager, as a senior dealer, we teach the trainees. We teach them fundamentals. When the news come out, how to react. We teach them technicals. And this chart says, head and shoulder, what do you do when you break the head and shoulder, whether from the downside or the upside, what do you do, right? And they are important to trading. But many traders use only one method, okay? And when those people use one method, they normally don't last very long. After a while, finish. If you are very good in fundamentals, but you don't look at technicals, also a problem. If you're very strong in technicals, don't look at fundamentals, also a problem. Okay, I just give you a feedback. I mean, you can go on my chat group and I can ask them. There's one guy who only trade technicals. But since he joined the chat group, wow, he says, wow, now with these fundamentals, I am trading much better. Okay, and my profits are better. Because you're missing one of the equation. Okay, you must have both. So anybody who just tells you and train you and say, technicals enough, you don't have to look at fundamentals. That guy is a crap trainer, really. You must have both. All right, you go in a marketplace, you go in a bank, they'll tell you the same thing. You have to learn both. If not, you have a big problem. You have an issue, all right? So after teaching and training the central bankers for so many years, I'm now bringing this to the public via the Skill Futures, Forex trading, hedging, and risk management course, okay? And of course, I look forward to training you to be a profitable retail FX investor or FX hedger. Okay, what is an FX hedger? Basically, a hedger is one who protects his risk. And this Skill Futures course will help you to be a retail FX investor. That means you trade for your own, and to also help you when you have a company where you have exchange rate exposures. It will help you to recognize that foreign exchange movements can have a huge impact on the bottom line and how they can go about hedging their exposures. All right. I like to give that example because this is one of the clearest examples that I can think of personally. All right. A friend of mine who owns a chemical company, he was puzzled why there was a shortfall in his profitability. And after looking at his invoices, we found out that on many occasions, he bought the Japanese yen at a very high level, okay, And of course, in addition, he sold US dollars and other currencies at a low level when converted to Sing. So when he pays yen, when he convert using Sing, he pays high. But when he sold US, Euro, pounds to convert into Sing, he sell at a low level. So after attending this course, all right, he found out, hey, I can actually do hedging, protect my risk. And he found out that, hey, I saved quite a bit of money after attending this 20 years ago. All right. So he's quite appreciative. After attending this course, right, you would have acquired a new skill, which is how to trade foreign exchange and other asset classes. And you'll be part of a chat group where you enhance your knowledge on foreign exchange and also receive trading ideas. Okay, so that means you'll be part of a group where you will continue to learn on the so-called intricacies of the foreign exchange markets, right? Of course, if you are interested in foreign exchange, if you're not interested in foreign exchange, then of course, there's no point for you to learn. But if you're keen, and I think it's a good skill to have, because you never know, this COVID thing may come back again one day with a vengeance, different kind of strain, different kind of whatever, and then you're locked down. The one that we had last year. So last year when there was a lockdown, I didn't mind because I was just sitting at home just trading. I mean, you don't have to make super normal profits. I mean, imagine you can make $50, $60, $70 as a normal person, $80 a day. Why not? All right. You have the skills to do it. Why not? So that's why I encourage people to attend the course, because you will learn. Definitely you will learn something. You'll learn to make money. All right. So when you're getting older, even with a capital of 30, 40,000, you can make like $600 to $900 a month, which is not bad. That plus your CPF, plus your saving is good enough to sustain you, all right, for a long time. And then there's no stress, all right, to make the kind of money with the kind of capital. Let's say for example, you put 40,000, you just make about 4 or 5%. Let's say 4 or 5%, 5% actually. 40,000 is about $200 a month. That is a conservative number. All right. If you put more, all right, of course, your earnings will be more. Okay. So again, please call me 94521922 for more information on registering for the course, or you can scan the QR code. Later on, I'll give you the QR code where you can register. Please, if you want to learn something on foreign exchange, I'm not saying I'm the best, but I will teach you what there is to learn on foreign exchange, and you will continue that journey. You don't pay $3,000, $5,000, and then after the end of the course, goodbye. Here you are. Take my last time was CD, but now they had thumb drive. Then you go and figure out yourself. Okay, here I will hold your hands 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, until you know how to trade very well, until you trade better than me. Then time for me to quit. All right. Okay. Skill futures for Singaporeans. Unfortunately, for Singaporeans only. If you have $500, age 25 and above, you sure have. You can use that $500 to pay for the course, because the cost is $500. But of course, if you are 40 to 55 years old, I think it's around the age group, you probably have $1,500. All right. So you pay 500, you stay at 1,000, which you can use for other costs. But believe me, this course is very, very useful, and you can get your money's worth when you learn foreign exchange. But you must learn it well, and you must learn it, and don't be greedy, and don't be hook-winged, okay, by you read sometimes social media. I see this guy, what can make 1 month 10% or 12% or 15%. I mean, really, my dear friends, if the guy can make 10, 12% a month steady for 3 years, I'm not joking. The hedge funds will look for him. They will put billions of dollars for him to trade. Imagine they put 2 billion for him and he makes 12% a month. 1 year he makes 150%. They will increase their asset by 1.5 times. All right, 150%. Who doesn't want? Everybody wants. So if anybody who puts on the Facebook or put on the whatever that they can make this much, please take it with a grain of salt. If can, why do they tell you I can make 12%? They rather, as human beings, okay, I'm not saying that all human beings are like that. As human beings, we are probably very, very selfish people. If I can make 50%, why I must tell the world? I go and make on my own. And then I will tell only special people who can put money with me, and then we have profit sharing. Then we do it. Okay? That's what they'll do. You're not going to blare to the whole world on Facebook and say, hey, I can make 10% or 12% or 50%. No, you come. You can make maybe 1 month, okay? By the next 2-3 months, your money all gone. Because I'm not saying all of them are like that, but majority, they are like Ponzi schemes. All right, they are like Ponzi schemes. So be very, very careful when you go online. All right. I have a trusted broker. I have a trusted, if you want to do copy trades, you let me know. I have a trusted person that I can do copy trades for you. Because I know that person, I see that person, I talk to that person. So it's not like those online one, okay? It's quite dangerous, okay? Just to give an example, Samtrade. You've heard of this company called Samtrade. Samtrade is now put on alert by MAS because a lot of people complain, okay? So it's like a Ponzi scheme. So be very, very careful when you do FX. There's many out there. Okay, to continue, what you will receive after attending the 1-day physical class, lifetime learning support, you will get access to me, all right? You have my number, you can call me, you can WhatsApp me, I will tell you, all right? And then you will learn from a close WhatsApp chat group community of like-minded learners. And you will definitely improve in your trading. Okay, believe me, you will. Because those fellas are quite good, right? They trade all the time. There's no more 28 August course. I haven't changed this yet. I changed everything but except this thing. It's now 18 September, all right? Because the grant, the SkillsFutures grant that we were supposed to get a bit late, so we have to postpone that course to 18th of September. And you'll receive 3 complimentary content pack intensive books. Those of you who are supposed to go for the 28 August course, you would have received the books from Tribal. Okay, Tribal would have sent it to you as a gesture that for your patience, okay, to wait for another about 3.5 weeks for the next course. Okay, it's not our fault. It's more on the SkillsFutures side. So you will have these 3: maximizing profits and minimizing losses, which is a notes on leverage trading, risk management, money management, and then also Fed watching, how to watch the Federal Reserve. And then you have introductory guides to FX markets and trading. This is a fundamental analysis of the market. How does economics, how does politics affect the currencies? And then becoming a trading master book is, this one for some people, they like it on charts. Fibonacci numbers, Elliott wave, right? You will get that. Okay, so this is, I give you 1 to 2 minutes. This is your scan if you want to attend the course, all right? You scan this. If not, you can still call me at my WhatsApp, 9452-1922, and then I'll give you the details as well. Okay. The FX course is a very good refresher, all right, for those who are currently trading FX and who want a different perspective on what to look out for. So if you believe you have adequate knowledge in the technicalities of the FX market, but you still need some help, you can join my chat group, all right, for the $100 one, member, where I'll give you daily calls on the market. And there'll be at least one call daily to buy or sell a certain currency pair with an entry and stop loss. Okay, so the price all there, you can see it's $100, 28 cents a day. And just to give you a perspective, I used to pay $150 a month, my dear friends, a month, not a year, for this kind of service. Now I'm doing it for 100 Sing a year. You know why? The bottom line, I want to help build a strong trading community where all of us can be profitable. Okay. Testimonials, all right. There's this one guy, the first one, I'm not joking. I can bring him to speak to you guys if you guys want to hear him speak one day. He attended my course, all right. And within 4 months, after he attended, he put in 10K. Within 4 months, he made 10K. That means he made 100% in 4 months. And this is no joke. Huh? This is real. And he writes, for someone new to Forex, this group has helped me in marrying the macro indicators with the trade strategies. And this guy, the next guy, the analysis of the economic indicators is great and the overall result is good. This guy used to do only charting. Now he mixes and he gets better results. Okay. And this guy say, I used to find it difficult to trade as I do not have the time to do my own analysis. However, after joining Victor's chat group, I did more trades and was more profitable. And the last one says, my daily trading view is good, but also it has good risk management. Okay, so I really hope to see if you all have a keen interest in foreign exchange. If you don't have, of course, there's no point for you to come. All right, but if you have, you're gonna learn. I hope to see you, to train you. And of course, for starters, right, I always do this I mean, something like dangling a carrot now, okay? I can help you earn a $250 risk-free profit, okay? And this is real. Of course, it will be revealed during the course. Now, I'm more or less done. I always give about 10, 15 minutes for people to ask questions. You can unmute and go on the mic, or if you are shy, you can go on the chat to ask questions. I will respond if I can. All right. Some people like to talk. They like to go on the mic. Please do so. It can be regarding the market, the outlook. It can be regarding the chat group. It can be regarding the skill futures course. Anything that you all need to ask. Now, don't forget when you listen to this, when you come, if you have interest to trade, I'm just giving you a general idea of where I think Euro is, where I think New Zealand is, and then you go back, and then you don't know what's happening. All right. If you're really a keen trader, you want to really be in the market to make some pocket money, then to me personally, I mean, I would join a group where there's people always sharing ideas, sharing, giving views, because as a person, all right, I always have this thing. There's this saying, 2 heads are better than 1. Okay. There's not 2 heads in the chat group. There's more than 2 heads. There's around 10 heads there. All right. So all they have different ideas. So you can always get ideas from them and to go and trade. Okay. Any questions? Okay, now, no question is too silly, okay? To me, every question is relevant, right? You may think it's not, but it is relevant. So if you have anything that you want to ask, somebody on the chat. Okay, Maureen, do you generate this 250 before the course starts? I would say yes, if you really want to do it. If you really want to do it, I can generate the 250 before the course starts. All right. But you need to have 3K that you do not need for the next 3 weeks. Then you can do this. The 3K, you have to put it aside. But don't forget, it is in your name. All right, when I say 3K put aside, it's in your name. Right, it's in nobody's name, so nobody can take the money. All right, in your name. And at the end of around 3 weeks, you will have the $250. That's it. So in a sense, the 250, Maureen, if you want, is like helping you to start your Forex journey. At least you have 250 there, give you some confidence. All right. Of course, you don't want to lose 250, but for whatever reason you lose 250, at least you already have the 250. All right. So it helps quite a bit. All right, you can. So for those of you who want to do this first, you know, you can also do that. No problem. I can do that for you. Any other questions? Anyone else? Or you want to go on the mic? Okay, but some people shy, don't want to talk on the chat, don't want to talk on the mic, but maybe you want to talk to me personally. You have my number, you can WhatsApp me, and then I can respond to you. Okay. Thank you everyone for attending. I hope you found this session enlightening, and also hopefully you can make some money. All right. But at least you know where the currency is heading, where certain currencies are heading. So it will help you, all right, a little bit. But the levels, all right, I cannot give the levels in a sense, not that I don't want to give. It's because the levels will change, right? So if I tell you, oh, you can go and buy euro now, you know, at 1.1740. Okay, now it's about 1.1740, all right? And then after that, when you buy, then after that, 1 hour later, you go to 1.1720. Yeah, Victor, how come you ask me to buy? I will look at the thing and then I say, okay, good level to buy, good level to sell. I will do that. So only when you're in the chat group, then you will have like updated 1 hour, 2 hour kind of, you know, movement you can see, all right? Rather than trading yourself. Of course, if you are a very good trader yourself, I cannot see anything, okay? All right. Thanks, Michael, for attending. If no more questions, I can call it a night. Good night, and have a good, if some of you are still trading, have a good trading session.